So hey everybody, it is sunny down here in South Florida. It is hot. It is humid. It is actually like 82, 83 degrees. Doesn't sound that hot, but with the humidity, it is hot. Summer has come, and it is showing in the yard some. I have my lawn. I have my lawn that has just been mowed 2 days ago. And as you can see by the grass around the lawnmower, it is already time for mowing. I also have my staghorn fern starting to fill out nice. I'm waiting for about another month and a half. By the end of this summer, it will be huge. It is actually huge already. It's probably about 5 feet across. 5 feet. Man, that's a big one. Plus I have my banana tree, which has got some bananas growing on it. They have been growing a long time now. They started back when Glenn was here, and they don't seem to be getting much bigger, but I'm letting them grow until they ripen. Last time I kind of cut the cycle short, I think, and I only ended up with bananas about this long. I don't know if that's the type of banana I have or not. What else have I been doing? It's been basically watching, let me see, Jodi Arias, the Jodi Arias trial. I have been watching this steady for the past few weeks. I have not watched it all, but I am intrigued with how the things have been going. I had got involved when Jodi Arias finally got on the stand, and I've been watching it ever since. So, and she was on the stand for like 18 days, so I guess I've been watching it almost a month now, and I'm getting more and more involved in it. It will be interesting to see if she gets off with murder, which is what she did, and she admits to it, so it'll be interesting to see what happens then. We have Jake there. Jake, stop licking. Jake has been licking a lot. I took him to the vet. They gave him something for scratching and licking and all that, and it solved it for a little bit. Evidently, it's back. So it looks like I got to take him back. It sounds like they say he's allergic to fleas. I think it's kind of screwed up, a dog allergic to fleas, but okay. He didn't have any fleas, but I guess he had signs of fleas on him at one time. In other news, I have been, of course, following with what my sister's got going on, and I appreciate everybody that sent emails and commented and everything. Thank you very much for that. She starts chemo this Friday, and we will find out how it goes. They do not know how severe it is. They said they have to see if the chemo starts to work first. Unlike me, when I had cancer when I was 24, they immediately told me, this is your percentage, which I had a 90% chance of recovery then. But this one here, they have to see how the chemo works. They're not sure if it's going to be working, if it's the right treatments for the type of cancer she has. In other news, and this is something that I find kind of funny but kind of heartfelt, it was kind of awesome. I don't know. It's nice to have these things when you had the highs and lows that I've had in the past couple years. As you all know, or may not know, I am self-employed now. I did work for a company up till 3 years ago. I have lived in this house for 6 years. Up to 3 years ago, I was working for somebody and made great money. My landlord never worried about my rent. It was there. Normally 2 weeks in advance. But after that, I got let go because of the market crash and all, the housing crash, whatever you want to call it. Total disrupt of our country. So I started getting late. And when I say late, I could be 2 to 3 months late, and I would not hear from my landlord. Maybe on the 3rd month he might call, but normally by then I was sending out a check for 1 to 2 months. And I always followed. You know, I may have ran a month behind for a while, but always seem to catch up. But normally when I catch up, I fall right back behind. I don't like this at the time that I've got Glenn moving here. I felt bad when Glenn came here, and when I've got involved with Glenn, this is the first time in got probably about 15 years that I have struggled like I'm struggling right now. It's been a long time. But that comes with the business of being self-employed. But back to the story. This past week I had to do a panel change out, which is basically an electrical panel for a house. I had to change it out for him for his insurance, and we botted it where I do this job and it covers part of the rent. Well, up until this past week I was 2 months behind on my rent, and I still owe April's rent, but I was 2 other months behind. Now my landlord hasn't pressured me at all. I stopped in to give him the papers after I'd finished the panel change, and he's right along talking to me. He's always smiling. He's always so nice to me. He is a great landlord. How I ended up with this landlord, I do not know. They actually, when I first went unemployed 3 years ago, after I struggled for about 6 months, they sent me a check for a couple $100 and said, here, we know you're hurting. Here's some help for you. They weren't looking for it back. I was just totally amazed that I have a landlord so good. But I stopped into his office yesterday, and I hand him the papers so that he can show the insurance company that he has changed out the panel and they can stop harassing him. And it was the first time. I had only met him 3 times. We don't really talk. We don't anything. It took me 4 years of living here before I actually met him 1 time. And I've only met him 3 times. I had never met his wife. I had spoken to her on the phone once or twice, but never met the lady. Well, here she comes, and he says, this is my wife, Lynn. And he says, this is Jeff, our tenant up in Palm Beach Gardens. And she just was overwhelmed with joy to meet me. She goes to put out her hand to shake my hand, and I go to put out my hand. She says, oh, what am I doing? Let me give you a hug. You are so awesome. I'm just so glad to finally meet you. And it just gave me a feeling. It was an overwhelming feeling. When I left their office, coming home, I could not believe how good I felt, because these 2 people are so kind. I mean, I was going into my 3rd month late, and they're giving me a hug. And when I left there, they never asked when my next month's rent was going to be in their pockets. I just wanted to give a little bit of light news of, there are good people out there. It's nice when you can meet the good people, because so many, especially down in this area, so many are assholes. But anyways, I just wanted to give a little hello, talk to y'all, and thank you all for subscribing. If I have, it's been so long since I've said that, I think. And I do appreciate all my subscribers, and I appreciate your comments. If you do leave comments, I do appreciate them. So I will talk to you later. You all have a good day. Bye.